Today, on Haunted Destinations, we go to central Pennsylvania. Miles from the hustle and bustle of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh lies the quiet little city of Altoona. Altoona was once one of the most important railroading towns in the world because it was the central hub for the Pennsylvania Railroad. The Pennsylvania Railroad's construction of tracks helped travel and commerce become easier all over the United States. The Horseshoe Curve, a famous stretch of track just outside Altoona, was said to be the target of General Lee in the Civil War and the Nazis in World War II. This truly is a railroading town through and through. But is it haunted? We're going to go to the famous U.S. Hotel, a beautiful building with a dark secret. Then we're checking out the 4Ds, a seemingly normal bowling alley where strange things have been happening for years. But none of these places are as haunted as the Altoona Railroaders Museum. We've been invited to take a look with the Ghost Research Foundation, or GRF. It's supposed to get absolutely crazy in here. So join us on Haunted Destinations. Are ghosts real? I'm not sure, and that's not what this show is about. My name is Yaniv Aronson, and I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a filmmaker. And with the help of my small but loyal crew, I want to document the ghost culture, its people, places, and stories. All the footage and reenactments you are about to see were created by us unless specified otherwise. So join me as I take roads less traveled to haunted destinations. I'm here with local researchers Patty Wilson and Scott Cronover. Patty, can you tell me a little bit about your group?
Sure, it's GRF, the Ghost Research Foundation. Scott and I created it about 6 years ago in order to scientifically study possible paranormal phenomena.
The first place Patty and Scott take us to is the U.S. Hotel. Around since the 1800s, the hotel is mostly known today as a restaurant with delicious food and nightly entertainment. Now the story goes that in the mid-1800s, there was a brothel on the second floor of the U.S. Hotel. Local lore says that one night, a lady of the house was brutally murdered by a customer. Now, we didn't find any historical record of this, but back then, the murder of a prostitute would hardly be considered front-page material. Since then, this has been a hotspot for ghost hunters who claim the prostitute can still be seen in the room where she was killed. Some even claim her murderer still roams these halls, tormenting her and any other woman that is unlucky enough to stay the night. I asked Patty about her experiences in the second floor of the hotel. She's visibly upset and out of breath. She says it's because she feels a strong negative energy in the room.
Honestly, I don't think I'll ever forget that moment because that was the first time I ever saw a ghost. In the flash of that camera, I saw a girl, long auburn hair, maybe about 19 or 20. The girl had her hands up against her head like she was in pain. She had her knees bent. She was moving. And I remember thinking, you did not see what you just thought you saw. And I turned and looked out the window here in the hallway. And when I looked back, my partner was looking at me, and he looked just as surprised as I was. And he didn't say, did you see something? He just looked at me and he said, did you see her? You saw her too, didn't you?
Our next stop is the 4Ds bowling alley in Altoona. The 4Ds was built in 1948 by Bob DeVentura. Since its opening, it's become a place that everyone knows to go to have fun. Now, Bob has since passed away, but his sons still remain in charge of the place, and they claim that Bob hasn't really left. Anytime they make any kind of changes to the building, or they mess with Bob's workshop downstairs, he lets them know he's not happy. One of the owners, Robbie, shows us around the bowling alley. He's been working here all of his life.
Now down here is where Scott and them got the what on audio. Grandpa was always down here doing something. Oh great, no lights. The real big experience I ever had was it was a Sunday night. Came back and I was at the upstairs bar. It was when we remodeled up there. I went to the other side of the bar and I was getting a drink or mixing something. Well, I always make sure I lock up the building whenever I come in here, especially late, so nobody would come in. So I'm there doing something and I hear the door slam. I turn over my shoulder. The door, the one door coming into the bar is wide open. And then I look at that window and I see a figure walking by it. I turn back around this way to look out the door closest to the lanes, and I see the figure walk by that door. I go flying out, unlock the door, open it up, nobody there. I called up my buddies because they were supposed to be meeting me. I was like, you guys didn't happen to get in the building yet, have you? And they're like, no, it's locked. I said, okay, well, I just saw somebody. I think I just saw Grandpap.
It really is.
Yeah. As soon as we walked out, did you see that? As soon as we walked out, it turned on.
Yeah.
We were down in the basement, and of course,
Get something.
well, the light wouldn't turn on in the storerooms. So as soon as we walked out, after we did a little walk through there, walked out and stand there talking in the workshop, light turned on right away.